Energized show, up the Irish.
Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Ross, introduce the guests, man.
Today we have two of Team Rhino's finest fighting at Cage Warriors 147 Unplugged in the BT Sports Studios. It's Adam Darby and Paddy Wilkinson. Lads, how are we doing?
What's going on? How are we, man?
Yeah, all good. Can't complain. How are you?
Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Adam, we're off to learn you're an absolute nerd with these cans behind you.
Absolutely.
You know, everyone who's watching the show is going to ask, what's the story with the cans? So what's the story with the cans, bud?
The story with the
And
cans
which is your favourite?
I'm a Marvel collector. I'm an avid nerd.
Shows the hoodie there.
What's my favorite? Oh, this is Mark. You don't want to see I won't even show you how underneath this.
All right, we'll just start off with who is your favourite Marvel character then, Adam?
That is a tough question. You put me on the spot there now. I needed a bit of notice for that. I'd have to go with Iron Man, the original, one of the originals.
So not a superhero, just has all the gadgets. Like that's the goal.
Has all the gadgets, a lot of money, the way to be.
Happy days, Paddy. Do you like Marvel yourself?
I don't actually follow it whatsoever, and Adam was only recommending there to go see the Black Panther 2 the other night. So I went and I actually enjoyed it, but I'm after hearing off Adam. He's not the biggest fan of the new one.
I didn't enjoy it. It was too long.
Yeah, you know what? I used to watch all the Marvels, but then I thought they were just churning them out one after the other just for the money. So
Yeah.
I stopped watching them. So like, if you ask me, I like Thor. Why not? He's got a hammer. That's sort of cool. That's your
I
favorite.
got in trouble because I left early or something. I didn't know there was something to do with at the end of Marvel movies. You have to stay, and I just up and left.
Rookie error.
Yeah, the missus was going mad at me.
You're helping the guests now, Paddy. For people tuning in, they know not to leave early. But
Yeah.
this weekend is a bigger show than any Marvel movie, Ross.
It is indeed. Cage Warriors Unplugged back in the BT Sports Studios. Adam, start yourself. What did you first make of when you found out you were going to fight in BT Sports Studios as opposed to fighting in an arena full of people?
I fought before, I fought in the IMAFs that was no crowd, so it's nothing new to me. But obviously I prefer the crowd. I was meant to fight last weekend, on the 12th, to change my opponent. I said no problem. To put it a week later, now we're good to go.
And then what about yourself, Paddy? What do you make of fighting in the BT Sports Studios?
Yeah, very similar to Adam. Most of my fights would have been at the IMAFs. So I think something like 5 of my amateur fights are at the IMAFs. So I'm just used to that kind of enclosed. Now, there's small crowds at the IMAFs, but 90% of them are other competitors or other coaches and stuff. So I'm kind of used to that environment. So it'd be nice to get back in. It'd be a nice one to shake the cobwebs off as such, because you get to a point where like Adam loves playing up to the crowd a little bit when he's fighting. So it'd be nice for me to get that actual cage experience before we jump into the whole showmanship. You know?
Exactly.
No, absolutely. Adam, obviously we watched yourself compete at Belfast. Paddy, unfortunately, you didn't get to compete at Belfast, but you were in Adam's corner. Adam, you stole the show in the opening fight of the night with the up kick and then the finish. What was that like for you to make your pro debut in front of so many of your friends and family?
It was inevitable. It was a long time coming, and it was great to do it in front of such a good crowd. Me and James Shane was fighting that night as well. He brought a great crowd. I think we had about 400 or 500 people there between us, which is pretty good. Like,
yeah, no, it was absolutely epic. In fact, you were so excited you left your gloves in the back.
I knew you were going to say that. But
some helpful fella kept them for you though.
His name was Ross. He hunted me down and he handed it back to me.
Yeah, just about. I kept them safe. I was like, the pro debut gloves, they'll probably get framed somewhere. I'd say. Have you framed them?
No, they're sitting in the drawer somewhere there. But they will be framed.
Yeah. Stick a Marvel sticker on them. They open the wall and set them. Paddy, you were obviously cornering Adam for that fight, and you were originally meant to fight Troy Gibson on it to make your pro debut.
Buzz at the backstage, you come out, get the gloves fitted. The whole kind of experience as a whole is just great. And then when you're backstage ready to walk out, like I got them kind of jitters and goosebumps as we were about to walk with Adam, just because you've been there before, you know the feeling. And it's like, it's a weird experience, and I don't think it's talked about enough. Like, it's the most exciting yet scariest part of a fighter's career, where you're just terrified, but you're so excited. Because you're going out to kind of like, as if you're an artist, you're going out to display your art in the cage. So you get to put on show what you've done for the last couple of weeks, but at the same time, you're like, this could go horribly wrong. So you just have that mad mix of emotions. It's a weird one before you walk, and then like you were saying with Adam, he got a bit carried away. He was like a boomerang. He also kicked his cum shield about 40 yards into the crowd, and somehow that came back to him as well. So you just
funny story about that one. Bill McCann was sitting in his seat, sitting with his hands like that, and landed right in his lap into his hands.
I heard he caught it in his mouth.
Yeah, he got it.
He was probably just destined for them since he didn't use any wrestling in the fight.
Big shout out to Bill, by the way, wrestling coach. Absolutely OG.
Yeah, Bill's top dog. The last 2 times we've been in London, I think we went for pizza with Bill before the fight nights. So he's a top bloke. Big fan.
Yeah, this one as well. Him and Connor are heading over to this one.
Oh, happy days. Happy days.
Connor as well.
That is something I want to touch on. Obviously, it's a bit of a strange one because you're only given like sort of 10 tickets per person. How did you decide who you were going to give them to, or did you just gauge the interest and went, right, there you go?
It was kind of an awkward one because obviously you've only got 10. There's a lot more people that want to go. Then you've got that people that are always telling you they want to go and don't actually go. But I've given 5 to my family, obviously, and then a few close friends are going too.
Happy days. Do you count Bill and Connor as family or friends?
They're friends, but they are also family. Yes, they're friends. So.
What about you, Paddy? Was there any like, oh shit, can't give to this person, better give this person job?
Mine was just kind of like, yeah, we're kind of close group of mates, and then like it was kind of like first refusal. Like it was just family and friends. So in general, the people who be going regardless, like you kind of know yourself when the fight gets announced. Right, there's 15, 20 tickets gone to, and you can list them off in your head. So it was just a case of who was my closest mates, who's around me the most, who's my family, all that sort of thing. And then just from there, like I'm not really pushed about who goes to watch because, like you said, it's in the BT studio, it's on a massive stage. They can watch it from home. The cameras the cage warriors have, they may as well be there,
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I know you sort of say that, but like it's actually such a unique venue to get to fight in that like it's actually almost a cooler thing to say you were in the BT Sports studios for the fights. Like I always remember Paul Hughes' first walk out in the BT Sports studio, and it does have a weirdly iconic feel to it. I remember Paddy Pimblett fought Jordan Espinoza. Was it Espinoza? Juicy J, Baz?
Julian Arosa.
Yeah, Julian Arosa in there, and like that was a mad fight as well. So like it's been a bit of an iconic venue for Cage Warriors. So the funny thing is, we say there'll be less eyes in the crowd, but definitely the right eyes from executives and so on and so forth will be on these fights.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's also the studio where McGregor said to Chad Mendes when he called in saying he'd rest his balls on his forehead. But it's the fun fact of the day. Well, that's yeah, go on ahead, Paddy.
Sorry, I was just have to say I'm gonna have to sharpen up my Portuguese.
You can rob a few McGregor sayings to Aldo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is obviously a big night for Team Rhino as well. Andy Ryan was over a few weeks ago when James Sheen got the win. Like in the build up to this, what's Andy Ryan been saying around the gym in the build up to Cage Warriors 147?
Paddy, take it away.
You don't want to give away too much. No, he's just been kind of same old. Andy doesn't really change during fight camps. He doesn't get you see that a lot with him. There's very few times you'll see Andy get emotionally invested, and when he does, he explodes. Like it's kind of like you see the likes of Reds are picking up wins and Siri picking up wins. You see him in the cage, and that's when he really gets excited. But for the most part, he stays still cool, calm, and collected in training because he wants us to be cool, calm, and collected. So he puts us through our paces. He allows us to. He kind of runs through our game plans. Would work a lot on sort of what your opponent's say main attributes is. Now I know we're all mixed martial artists, but what his main attributes are, and you implement them into training, and he just kind of keeps you level headed. He doesn't make you panic. He knows we're in there. Like me and Adam are training with James every day of the week, and like James, look what James is doing in Cage Warriors. Yeah. Like James is surely to God pushing towards the title shot now. Like they need to. That's 5. Is it 5 or 6 wins on the hop?
That's 6 wins in a row. 5 in a row, sorry, yeah.
5 in a row, yeah, 5 in a row, and like Espen on the cusp of the title shot.
Yeah, 5 wins in a row, and he's beating the likes of Jamie, like who was fought for the title. So like when we're in there with him every day, learning off him, training with him, like Andy can see the standard we have in the gym, and he just believes in us, and that's the main thing. Like if I show you, I might release a few texts after this, but when I went disappearing there for a while, like every day, at least once a month, I got a text off Andy. Where are you? Or when he was at the IMAFs, he's sending me pictures. You should be here, and he just stays on top of it because he believes in us. You know.
I think it is great to have Paddy back in the gym now full time. And I think lately, the past couple of months, there's been a great buzz in Team Rhino. All the amateurs are winning, all the pros are winning. Me, James, Paddy's on the scene. It's great. The buzz is back. Neil's hanging around training up there. Redzer's up there coaching. Neil's coaching. Andy's coaching. I just think it's a great buzz. And we're back, baby. Then can't forget about sending.
Yeah, of course. All the boys are doing the business as well. It is great to see, and like you said, the gym is buzzing. And a special shout out to James Sheen. Like he's after setting the tone now, lads. For the way he beat Jamie Richardson was fairly impressive. So you boys are going to have a lot to live up to, especially when you're fighting in his division.
Oh yeah,
exactly. Great. We were talking to Graham Bullen over in London last time out, and he was saying that there is going to be some more shows in Ireland next year. So that's definitely something to look forward to as well, Ross.
Yeah, it definitely will be. Adam, tell us this: you're moving up to welterweight. Is this something permanent, or is this just for this one? And how are you feeling about not having to cut as much weight?
I think so. I think it could be permanent, Jed. The 70, it's just a little bit too much. And the 8 weeks, instead of training for the fight camp, it's a fat loss camp, and you spend 8 weeks losing weight instead of training. So I think it could be a permanent thing. We'd obviously like to do catchweight. Cage Warriors are one of the biggest promotion in Europe. They don't really do catchweight, so it's either 70 or 77. So it could be a permanent thing. We see how this one goes. I'm looking to fight again then the 31st on the Europe versus America card. See what that's like, and then we'll talk then.
That's an exclusive for us.
Absolutely. And then Paddy, obviously in terms of body shapes, like you and Adam Darby are absolute polar opposites, but you're fighting in the same weight class. What's it like training with someone who's like totally different body shape to yourself, and do you think that's a massive advantage that you have?
It's not a nice way of saying what's it like being a small little fat fella.
No man, Jesus man, like
No way.
I think you're a beautiful stocky fellow.
Right, thanks. Well, to be honest, it works perfectly for matchmaking. So, like, if I'm fighting a tall, rangy fighter, like, who could be better than my camp than Adam? Do you know that way? Or if Adam's fighting a small, stocky boxer, or the likes of James was fighting Jamie Richardson, who was a boxer, which is my background. So, like, it kind of suits each, like, to have that many training partners in, and then you've like Senan, as Adam was saying, like Senan's a top class kickboxer. So like we have all them different variables that we can like really implement into game plans and into training camps. So like, and then I think we're all quite exciting for us. Like if you look at the track record of me, Senan, James, and Darby, like every one of us come out there to finish a fight. Like none of us come out there to lay and pray, or like we all come out there like, I'm not planning on staying in the cage 15 minutes. Never have done. Like I always want to get out there, and Adam obviously showed that in his last fight. Like you're in there to take someone's head off, like because that's what you're doing.
Well, you know what they say, yeah, what's called Alfonso Cabral. You won't be paid by the minute in there to fight him, Paddy. So get it done fast and early.
He's the same. He's gonna bring it, and I watched a couple of his fights, and like he wants to bring it as well. So let's have at it. Like 4 ounce gloves, one of us is gonna go. Do you know what I mean? Like we're going to. I'm not in there to point fight with him and win on decision.
No, absolutely not. Paddy hits like a truck, Baz.
Yeah, Paddy, you're known as a knockout merchant. Like in the build up to this fight, now it's your debut. Like everything's could be added into your arsenal with the elbows, etc. Like what are we going to see now from yourself? Because obviously you competed in a while, but people do know you as a knockout artist.
Well, like obviously I'm a lot more mature now. I'm not going to go in there and try to take his head off. I know my boxing's there as my bread and butter, but like look at the lads I'm grappling with every day of the week. Look at the lads I'm wrestling with every day of the week. So like if it does come to a case we're up against the cage, I'm not going to be under any illusion that I need to break off and strike. Like I'm happy to go to the ground. I'm happy to work my submissions, work my ground game. Like you're seeing James in his last fight, his ground control is like outrageous. Like when you were putting up with that, and Graham, his younger brother, like the two of them, like Darby's very good, but the way they just move your hips and control it is extremely good. So when you're with someone like that every day of the week, you know where you need to be. You know the level that you need to be at for grappling. So I am under no illusions that if me and Afonso get into a grappling match, like I'm fairly confident in my wrestling.
But some of the things, lads, Team Rhino has now become like almost like the Irish version of Sanford MMA. It's got all the top welterweights in the country, and they're all in there upskilling each other at all times. Adam, do you get that vibe now that you have so many different shapes and size bodies, and you have so many different skill sets within the gym?
Absolutely. Like, look, as Paddy just said, the lads were training with, like, but like that, yeah, you can pick. You watch the guy you're fighting. We'll sit down. We'll watch the guy we're fighting. Okay, here's what you're going to do your camp with, and you can pick out bodies. You know, that's where you need to be at.
No, absolutely. And plus, I've seen Adam in the gym, Baz. He likes to wrestle with the heavyweights as well. There's no messing with him as well. So is Paddy. Bill McCann's in there, and he's getting these 100+ kilo lads and be like, right, wrestle that fella there. So there's no stone left unturned. Tell us this, lads. How do you see you getting your hand raised? We'll start with yourself, Adam.
I would say late first round or early second round. I think Moshe Aslani, the guy I'm fighting, I just think his striking, no disrespect to him, but his striking just isn't at the level of mine. I think he will be shooting from the start, and I think I'll catch him with something as he shoots and TKO him then, to be honest with you.
And what about yourself, Paddy? I know it's not really any secret when you fight, but how do you see yourself getting your hand raised?
Yeah, I'm fairly similar to Adam. So like when I go in there, obviously I like to strike, and I just think like there's very few people I've been in there with that I've hit that I haven't hurt. That's even the people I haven't put down from shots, I usually hurt them. Now I have a 4-ounce glove on, like, and I know it's like going from 8 ounce to 4 ounce, but there's a massive difference. They're only there to protect your knuckles, so like getting caught with them makes all the difference. So I do think if I'm standing in front of someone hitting them, I think there's only a matter of time. Like there's only so many shots they're gonna take, and then it's gonna really start taking a toll on them. So I think the same as Adam, he's gonna start shooting. I think he'll end up getting hurt. But then again, he's in the same situation. He's in there to try to hurt me. He only has little 4-ounce gloves on. So look, whatever way it goes, I don't really go with game plans because I feel like I know what I have to watch out for and I know what I'm going for. But at the same time, I feel like if I go in there and I go, I'm gonna knock him out in 5 minutes, and then the end of the first round comes and I haven't knocked him out, then you start to think to yourself, you start to question yourself going, oh no, that didn't go to plan. What am I going to do now? So I just go in there and let it happen. I'll see what happens. You know, if I'm hurting him with shots, we stay on the feet. If I'm beating him in the grappling, we go to the grappling. And that's just the way it's going to plan out for me.
There you have it, Baswell. At Cage Warriors 147, the lads are going to unplug the lights at Cage Warriors Unplugged and turn the lights out on their opponents. What do you make of that, Baswell?
No, that was very well said. It also just came back to me. Remember, Paddy said last time he'd be the same flyer even if it was outside a chipper. Just before we go, lads, I just want to add in as well. Paddy, Adam mentioned earlier that he'd like to get back on the Cage Warriors card on New Year's Eve. If you got an early win, would you be interested in that as well?
Yeah, 1,000%. I think this is the like start of my pro career. I need this is time for me to go on a roll now. I'm back full time in the gym, as Adam said. I'm training. It's my main priority. Like this is where we have a go at, and I think that's why we're all doing so well. So we can see James pushing on towards that title. Adam's now in the mix where he's like, right, this is gonna I'm going somewhere with this. Now I'm getting the vibe. Senan won't be long going pro. Like he's 4-0 now in the last couple of months. Like before you know it, I think Graham should be pro. He's just too busy. Like, and it's just. Before you know it, Raw is going to be bursting onto the scene. There's just going to be a flood of Team Rhino.
Yeah, Graham Sheehan, the baddest school teacher in the planet.
Imagine him teaching on a Monday morning trigonometry.
Trigonometry.
And then just before we wrap things up, lads, it was Adam Darby's birthday this week. I'll sing him a happy birthday.
Don't start that now.
But yeah, make sure to check out the lads this Sunday at Cage Warriors 147 Unplugged live on UFC Fight Pass. Roscoe, take it away, bud.
Guys, thanks a million for joining us today. If you have been watching this on YouTube, make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notifications to catch all the Energized content. If you're watching this on UFC Fight Pass, make sure to hit a favor on this one. The lads appreciate it. We appreciate it. And as always, stay energized.
Energized show, up the Irish. Been sussing you guys a couple of times. I've seen a couple of clips. I think you've done some interviews with Dylan Moran and that I saw. So keep going, keep up the good work, guys.